Right. We're here with another Red video. This time it's about Xbox Live. Oh, not Xbox, but Live, but just Xbox and Microsoft. Let's see what he has to say. We all remember this notorious comment. Me replying to all my haters. Yeah, you as your game is crashing and burning. Oh boy, this did not age well. It's like your game was not being hated on by haters. Your last game, what was it? Evolved? I think that was it. I can't remember. It's like, that's how little that game. I played that game. I played it for like 8 hours. Oh, not 8 hours. 3 hours? That was 8's a little too long. And the only thing I remember about that game is the boat. I remember there's a boat in there. Now, some people might be wondering, like, why do you remember there's a boat? It's like, most games I've played don't have boats in them. That's why. I literally do not have it. So it stood out. It was like, that was the most unique aspect of the game, was the boat. I know I didn't get to sell it. It was just like, get to the boat, and that's all I remember was get to the boat. I got to the boat, I got to the, off the newbie island, and that's it. That game was so boring and bad. But let's get into this.
Here. So what I'm about to say to you is very, very shocking information. I hope you can follow with what I'm about to say here, but it turns out that having a corporate strategy, prioritizing, mocking potential customers, gamers in general, and trying to own the chuds on Twitter is not a good strategy for success. I know.
I know it seems like a weird decision. Assaulting your community with nasty tweets and stuff. It's like, attacking your customers, that really always works very well. Actually, let me give it a try. Hey, all you... No, I'm joking. I love my community. Thank you all for coming by and watching this. I want to thank you all.
That's a crazy thing, but only a year ago, it seems like anything to do with Microsoft and their subsidiaries like Obsidian Studios, they wanted to mock their critics on social media. And you had games journalists backing them up, and you had posts like this on their official Twitter accounts replying to the haters, aka anyone who has even the slightest criticism for the mid slop they've been releasing. Well, it turns out they're finding out. As reported here, both The Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed failed to meet Xbox's sales expectations. I literally cannot believe this, ladies and gentlemen. The two games that everyone said were going to fail and looked like abject.
Yeah, they were bad games. Well, I'll take that back. I cannot say Outer Worlds 2 was a bad game because I never played it, but I heard it was a bad game. Avowed, I did play. Oh, that game was awful. But I didn't even care for Outer Worlds 2 because Outer Worlds 1 was very lackluster. It was like, ew. Ew, you're just from the company that sold me on this, going like, from the creators of Fallout New Vegas. And I was like, oh, yep, I'm sold. And then I get it and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? This is awful.
Failures were actually failures. I know. There were so many people in the games journalism scene trying to not just insult, but also discredit anyone who was saying these two games were a failure for not only Obsidian, but also their owner, which is, of course, Microsoft. Now, we'll talk about these two in just a second, but let's talk about Microsoft generally. Okay, it's been a rough couple of months. You can see 20.
Yummy. I hope that keeps going down. I hate Microsoft. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what was it? Bill Gates, here's advice. If you ever start a new company, don't name it after your penis. I think that's the first thing you should do. Never name a company after your penis. Unless it's mega hard. then I guess that's probably a good company name. But, Microsoft, I'm sorry, Bill. That's just not a good name for a company.
22% decrease in their stock over the past 6 months, and the last month or so has been particularly rough. Now, there's a lot of reasons for this, including the failure of their gaming department, but also Mr. Microsoft himself, Bill Gates, recently popped up in the Epstein files. In fact, there is a email communication.
This is probably why he was on the. Why he named his company Microsoft, after his penis. He could only get it up for. I'm not even gonna go any further. That's gonna get me in so much trouble, but you get what I'm trying to get.
Sent by Jeffrey Epstein himself, saying some pretty crazy things about Bill Gates, including allegations that Bill Gates caught an STD from Russian girls and then begged Epstein for secret antibiotics to sneak into her food or drinks to try to cure her before she found out he transmitted it to her. Yeah, since then, Bill Gates is denying this, and his now ex-wife, Melinda.
Yeah, of course he's gonna deny it. The ex-wife site? Oh.
Is basically saying, I hope he gets the justice he deserves. That's a whole nother mess of a situation they're dealing with on a top level. But let's look at Obsidian, which of course.
Yep. I'm sorry, but this guy is a terrible piece of shit. That's why I like making fun of him. I guess if I make a gaming company, should I name it Mega Hard?
Of course, is a Microsoft subsidiary who was responsible for producing games like Avowed. Now, this is the Bloomberg reports with Obsidian Entertainment, where they say the studio is now at roughly 280 developers. Grounded 2.
That's a pretty good size. Okay, if we look at, what is it? If we look at, Expedition 33, that did it with, I know there's numbers floating around, but let's just say they did it with 33 people. With 280, you could probably get a game out every year if you just break that down into a bunch of mini groups. Now, this also requires them to have good leadership and good focus and all that sort of stuff, because 280 people can still just produce slop every year, or they could produce something really good. It's just depending on if they are given the leeway to make good shit or if they're forced to make slop. And Microsoft right now, I'm hearing that they're kind of rolling back their slop agenda, where they're like, you must make slop. These are the rules of joining our company. But I'll believe it when I see it. And I'm not meaning just a single game. I need to see 3 good games coming from Microsoft not being slop.
Considered a big hit. The Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed failed to meet sales expectations, and there's currently no plans for the Outer Worlds 3. Now, of course,
good, because like I said, 1 was already bad enough. I was surprised they got a sequel. But then again, one of us bought 1 because we were fooled into it, going like, sweet! Fallout New Vegas devs! Woohoo!
Let's begin with Avowed. Okay, this was a game that many people like myself were very skeptical of. It wasn't the worst game ever. This was not Concord or something like that, but it looked very mid on its surface, and a lot of people did not have faith in this game. But of course, the industry was propping it up, even as its numbers on places like SteamDB looked really bad at launch, you had Kotaku, among others, saying the campaign against Avowed reveals the bigotry that fuels the anti-woke in its crusade against Obsidian's action RPG.
We just want good games. That's all we want. We want good games. We want games to be entertaining. Like, here's the thing. We look back at the old days and we get stuff like Jedi Knights Academy and for like Star Wars Combat, and then we get Jedi SWTOR, SWTOR 2 preferably, for story arcs. And it's like, these were the peak of Star Wars games, and now we're getting Rogue or Outlaw, whatever it's called, Star Wars Outlaw. And it's like, wow, how far we've fallen. It's like, even the Jedi Survivor series, it was no Jedi Knight Academy or Jedi Knight 2 and that stuff. It was no KOTOR, and it's like, I know some people are going to be like, oh, please don't judge it based on older... Yes, judge it based on older games, because this is the quality we used to have. We used to have Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. We used to have the Dark Forces series. We used to have all these good games. Now we're getting slop. We're getting slop in every aspect of it, and we're tired of the slop. We need to stop buying slop. I'm hoping the normies at least have some willpower and brain power to not buy GTA 6, but I don't think they will. Honestly, GTA 6 really should be one of those games that does bomb. Maybe, hopefully, it will bomb to the degree because of how much money they're investing into it. I guarantee you, this game is probably going to have over, $1 billion it put into it? It's definitely going to have over $1 billion. At least that's what my guess is all. GTA 6 will probably have $1 billion invested into it. So if it doesn't break over $1 billion, yeah, it probably will flop. But let's hope.
The anti-DEI mob has given the game away. Still not sure really what that line means, but yeah, they were trying to basically say bigotry is the reason anyone is upset with this game. It's not the terrible art style, which they seem to embrace.
What the fuck is that on the bottom right-hand corner? Oh my gosh, that is ugly! These are all ugly, but the one by the very bottom corner, oh, gross! Oops. I'm gonna hit that.
Race to their own downfall. And of course, there was a massive scandal around the time of the game's release, where the art director Matt Hansen was saying some really crazy stuff on social media. In fact, when Elon Musk criticized the game for having pronouns as an option to choose when you begin playing the game, Matt Hansen posted a screenshot saying sickos.jpg.
This
I
was
wanted
really
so badly to
crude.
make him mad with my game, and I cannot believe it actually worked. Just wait until you see the default, you sad little piece of crap. Anyway, Avowed comes out on February 18th, and of course, the strategy of prioritizing your decisions around making Elon Musk mad on Twitter.
And what's funny is I saw a recent post about Valve where people's like, it's not a bad game, it's just getting overly hated. It's like, really? Oh gosh.
Is not a very good one. In fact, things got worse when this repost from a fellow person at Obsidian showed Matt saying, reminder to black artists out there who are looking for...
This is illegal, what he just did. That goes against many laws. You cannot hire people based on race. I know some companies are still doing it and trying to get away with it, but that is really illegal.
For portfolio reviews or job advice, my DMs are open. And you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day.
No. Let's not replace you one day. Let's blacklist you and fire you right now and get someone who actually enjoys gaming in. That's my thoughts. He doesn't need to be replaced one day. He needs to be replaced ASAP. This very moment, get his ass out the door. And that's what I was saying the day this tweet appeared.
I want to go back to living in the woods. Again, as I always say, there is nothing more pathetic than a self-hating white man, someone who hates themselves for a trait they did not choose at birth. But this is also very illegal, according to people like Elon Musk, saying he's confessing to illegal behavior by making these sort of priorities based on race of applicants. Not very good. But looking at Avowed, okay, right now, a year later after release, 400 in-game players. That is not what they expected whatsoever. And you look down at the chart. I mean, this is a cataclysmic fall off, ladies and gentlemen. You can see the peak at about 19,000.
Okay, so that bump in January this year, that's probably why I got that post saying, like, Avowed's getting too much hate. It's not really that bad of a game. Because there was something happened that gave it a small bump. Because look at that. Between the launch to, I guess Christmas sales. That's it. People must have picked up the game at Christmas. Yes. Yeah, I think it was on sale at Christmas. But I looked at that, it's like, I know this game is shit, so I'm not picking it up.
1,000 players here, okay? And then just the absolute fall off. And they would try to convince you, whether it's games journalists or people on Twitter, that this is a success as a video game.
Nope.
Nobody with a brain acting objectively would look at this and think anything other than failure. And, well, it was. But people to this day are still defending this. This posted just yesterday. Avowed got far too much fake hate from people who never even played the game simply because it was on Xbox and not PlayStation. Is that the reason this happened?
No, and here's the thing. A lot of people played the game back when, what was it? Xbox Live was dirt cheap. We got to play a lot of games back when Xbox Live was dirt cheap. We got to play, when Star Wars Outlaws came out, there was a sale on the Ubisoft subscription. There was a lot of things where we got to play. Now that the problem with it is that now we're playing these games, we're seeing that these games are shit because we're paying the rental fee, we're canceling the rental fee, and now these games are flopping, and now there's trying to be like, oh shit, we hate Xbox Live and stuff.
Because it was on Xbox? No. Let's back up. This account right here posted this as, I guess, proof that this game is really good and was snubbed and mistreated by people for unfair reasons. Let's watch. Bro, I mean, are you even trying?
That
like, if you're
boring.
trying to do Obsidian a favor here, you're not doing that. Okay, this is not an impressive clip. In fact, It serves against everything you're trying to say, and it really just reflects the lack of care with this game.
Yep.
At launch, an Avowed director said that they knew this game was going to be janky. At launch, it was going to be janky. And again, I talked about this recently. People are not paying.
Why? Why would you release the game in such a terrible state? You know... That's so bad.
For a beta, okay? When your game goes live, it should be a polished product. Not perfect, but polished.
Yeah.
If you're coming out on launch saying it's gonna be janky, why would anyone shell out a massive amount of money to play an overpriced piece of slop like that?
And wasn't it like $70 at release? I can't remember, but I think it was 70. Which is like, you know, you're paying $70, you expect something of higher quality. A Valve, it was something more like, okay, if I had, I'll tell you this. I bought Duke Nukem Forever for $2 on a massive sale. And I'm to this day going like, okay, I got my money's worth from that game. Was it a good game? No, I'm going to definitely tell you it was not a good game. But I can sit there and say, I enjoyed Duke Nukem Forever because I only paid $2 for it. The cost of your game matters. If you're paying $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 for slop, you can sit there and probably enjoy it to a degree. You can have fun with slop if it's dirt cheap. Problem is these companies are not selling their slop dirt cheap. They're selling it as if it was the greatest thing ever made. And that's the problem. You can't make slop, put it on such a high price range, and expect it to do well. Sell it cheap. I know. You probably won't make up your money at the end because you put too much money in making slop, but I'm sorry, you'll probably get way more sales and way more players playing it, at least for a while, if you put it up for like $5, $10 maybe. The game was not worth its original price. Like I said, $5, $10, I mean $2. $2 is definitely worth the price probably to play this game, but not 60, 70, whatever its original price was. No.
Like this. It's insulting, and nobody should really support anything like this. But of course, there is a second link here, and that is The Outer Worlds 2. Which was another game that failed to meet the sales expectations for Microsoft and Obsidian. So, famously, back in November, they made this post on their official account. Me replying to the haters. Oh, it's just like Assassin's Creed Shadows all over again, right? Owning the chuds and getting likes on Twitter is way more important than making sales. Clearly, because you can see here, this flopped. 1.4 million views, but only 1.5k likes, and nearly 1,000 replies. Okay? There's a reason people are mocking this, because right now, again, a game with an even more recent release than Avowed, just in late October, they're sitting at 670 in-game players. In fact, if you look at the drop-off, well, you go to the max here, it's very Avowed coded. These sorts of people, they love that sort of language. It's Avowed coded. Where it peaked and then massively fell off instantly and basically has never recovered. And then, you have some quotes saying, maybe, just maybe, Fallout New Vegas was a one-off. Obsidian's RPGs are so effing mediocre, man.
No, I could definitely say this is not the case. What happened, because we got some good RPGs from them before Fallout the New Vegas. Like I was saying earlier, KOTOR 2. But here's what happened. After Fallout New Vegas, did not get the bonus money Microsoft, I mean not Microsoft, but Bethesda was saying because they did not reach the Metacritic score, which was stupid, really stupid. Fuck you, Bethesda. Fuck you, Todd Howard. Fuck you, Ameglo Pegley, who's probably getting pegged all the time. I mean, your last name is pegging. You're probably getting pegged. A lot of the good staff left. They left after Fallout New Vegas. So what we got was what we have now is what's left over after all the good people left.
You know it sold real bad when they actually admit it. That is a very key takeaway.
Yep. Yes.
When these studios come out and actually admit it, even if it's through the Game Awards, by the way, which is interesting, the fact that they admit the sales were this bad.
I was wondering, why is the Game Awards saying that? And like, no gamer really gives a fuck about the Game Awards. Maybe that's why. Maybe they were trying to hide it by using the Game Awards, going like, well, the gamers really don't give a shit about the Game Awards. It's kind of a joke. I will say I was surprised last year the Game Awards was decent. It wasn't good, it was decent, but that was what was it, a 180 turnaround from 2024, where it was awful, it was terrible, it was like, wow, you made a massive improvement, you removed 90% of the cringe, and you gave out good awards, holy shit. Okay, maybe not 90% of the cringe, but they definitely changed things around, and I was shocked. I'm not a fan of them because it's like, well, maybe that's a one-off. I'm going to have to see what they do this year because, yeah, I still don't think it's going to... I'm still wondering. Was it side-scrollers? Did side-scrollers put enough pressure on with their Game Awards? Speaking of Game Awards, I need to try to figure out how to I need to start working on the ENVtuber Awards. Yes. I've been trying to host a ENVtuber award. I did it in 2024, 2025. It fell flat on its face as problems behind the scene. I might want to try it again 26. I might have to reboot it in 27. I don't know. It's really difficult. Doing these type of shows all very time consuming.
Yeah, you know it was rough. You know it was really rough over there, but again, especially with Avowed, even more than Outer Worlds 2, if you said that game was a failure back last year, you were told you were a chud, you're a racist, an incel, you're wrong, you're believing conspiracy theories.
And it's weird because people weren't saying it was bad because of like, oh, XYZ minority or wham, man. They were just saying the game looks stupid. And why is there like a nerdy freakout guy at the very beginning and then the buff woman just slaps him like, get a hold of yourself. It is ma'am, and she trashes a GameStop. Oh wait, sorry. Wrong woman, wrong ma'am type thing. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, guess what? It did fail. The writing was on the wall. Anyone looking at this objectively knew this already. But hey, you know what? It's culture war stuff. These people defend mid-slop, no matter what, as long as they feel like they're getting an own on the le chuds. You know what I mean?
Le chuds.
But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, make sure to check out my link to my Patreon. I'm going to be uploading an exclusive video over there in the next day or two, so make sure to do that. Thank you guys for the crazy support on that. But also with this video, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Alright, so... Oh, jeez, that's an hour long. One day I might do a reaction to that because that looks like something that I could read. These people need to die, and it's pointing to VTubers, but oh my leaf, what a face. Alright, so thank you all for stopping by. I very much appreciate it. We are going to pull
You were told you were
So yeah, that one was more safer. It was like us being able to say, we want better video games. I like more better video games. Let us go back to good video games, please. But yes, give this video a like, a sub if you want. Like, sub, follow, that stuff. Join me on my communities, my Twitch, my link tree will be down below. Same with my channels. You can come by and see me live every weekday, but Friday and Saturday. So like Sunday through Thursday, I am streaming about I would say 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Mountain. And 4 p.m. is... Oh, no, sorry. No, it's 4 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Mountain, and 2 p.m. Pacific. I'll see you guys all there. And thank you so much for these wonderful reactions. You guys have been wonderful, amazing. I love you all, and my community is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you next time.